Hello guys, and welcome to my Super Blender Tutorials YouTube channel. Please subscribe and like this video. Okay, so in today's video we're going to be making a simple scene which consists of a few chairs, and I think it's a studio or something of that sort, but we don't really care about the room. We just care about getting our desired output, which is the modeling of it. So because this is going to be a much longer tutorial, I'm going to split this tutorial into a couple of segments, which I hope will be 9 minutes each. Okay, so without further ado, let us get started. And I forgot to mention, I hope by the time before you watch this video, you have some basic knowledge of Blender, which is how to get into the edit mode. And if you don't, I'm going to leave another link as to the beginner tutorials for Blender. Okay, so guys, let's get started. Alright, so first things first, we're going to make sure we are in the orthographic view mode. And to do so, because the default is perspective, so to do so we're going to press 5 on the numpad key. And another alternative way of doing this is you can click on view right here, and you can change from orthographic, now it's in perspective, it's back to perspective, or you can put it in orthographic. So once you're in the orthographic view mode, you're going to go into the front view mode. So you do that by clicking 1 on the numpad. Okay, now bring out your properties panel. You do that by pressing N, or you can simply click on the plus sign right there. So scroll down on this tab, and you're going to find a checkbox that says background images. Please click on that checkbox, expand the background images panel, and click on add image. So the image we're going to be using for reference is a simple room, which I described before. I'm going to leave the link to download this image in the description below. So it's called room.png. So wherever you save it on your computer, now navigate to that file and open it using Blender. And just so to be clear as to what we want to achieve here, I'm going to increase the opacity of the background image from 0.5 to 1, just so I can be clear, because we're going to be modeling from a different angle as to where the chairs are actually positioned in the scene. Okay, so I'm going to use the default cube. Most people prefer to delete it and then add another cube, but as for me, I'm going to use the same default cube. And to achieve this chair, I'm going to use about 3 different objects to make it into one thing, because it looks a little, the chair looks a little detailed. Okay, so do this. Now we start by going into edit mode. Now once in edit mode, as you can see here, this is the first thing we're going to model. That's the seating segment of the chair. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to press Ctrl R, which is the cut tool. You use this to cut through the faces that you already have in your object or face or whatsoever. So I click there, and then I'm going to drag it, and then it gives you the freedom to drag it to where you want it to be placed. So I'm going to drag it to the bottom here, and then I'm going to press Ctrl R again, and then add another one at the top right there. Okay, now as you can see, the chair, it has a kind of like a smooth curve at the top. So I'm going to achieve that by going into face mode. You can do that by pressing Ctrl Tab, and then you choose face mode, or you can easily go here. You can easily go here. Click on these buttons here. So there's vertex mode, edge mode, and face mode. But I choose to, this is much quicker for me. That's the Control Tab, and then you can choose whichever one you want. So I'm currently in face mode now. So I'm going to click on the top face, and then I'm going to scale it down by pressing the S key and then dragging it, pushing the mouse inwards or outwards. If you want to scale it up, you pull, and if you want to scale it down, you push. Okay, so I'm going to scale it about that size, and I'm going to do the same thing with the bottom face. Okay, so I'm kind of pleased with how that looks so far. Okay, now I want to select this bottom ring down here. So to do that, I'm going to click Alt, hold down Alt, and then click around the corner edge. Click around the corner edge. That way it loops. It selects the loop of the faces around that edge. Then I'm going to go back into my front view by pressing the 1 on the numpad, and then I'm going to scale this inwards. by using the S and then X along the X to scale it along the X axis. Okay, yeah, I think that's more of what the chair looks like. And then this kind of like bulges out a little bit. If I'm correct, yes, that is correct. Alright, now I'm gonna go back to my object mode for no other reason than to scale it up a little bit in the X direction, because you can see the chair, the seating segment of the chair is a little bit wide. So I'm gonna scale that up that way, and I want this to be smooth. So to do so, I'm gonna go into my uh, tools over here on the left side, my tools tab, and I'm gonna go to smoothen this. And as you can see, even though it's smooth, it still has a few corners. So I'm gonna go to my modifiers over here, my modifiers tab. Let me pull this out so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. So that's the modifiers tool. It has a little spanner icon on there, and I'm going to choose the bevel tool. So now the bevel tool, what it does is, it's more or less like a subdivision tool, but what it does is it kind of keeps that shape you want. It smoothens the object, but it kind of keeps the shape that you're looking for. And you can control the bevel of it by simply changing the width of the bevel and whatnot. So I'm gonna put it back to its default section, and you can see you can also increase the segments. So I don't want to touch too many things on the bevel of that object. Okay, now back to the modeling. So we're done with the, oh no, there's something going on here which I don't like. Yeah, okay, that's fine. We don't really care about the bottom, but as you can see, it was kind of overlapping what was going on. So I think I have to pull this down a little bit. Yeah, that is correct. That's working. Okay guys, so we're gonna go back into our front view and see how much in alignment we are with the bottom of this. So far I'm happy with what we have so far, but now as you can see, we have to put the armrest as well as the back I don't know what that is called, guys, I'm sorry, but as well as the back seater. So for that one, please guys, join me on my next video. As you can see, I'm out of time. I want to keep these videos as short as I possibly can, so you guys just join me on the next video. And yeah, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Thank you so much for tuning in, and yeah, watch out for the next one.